Hey, what is up YouTube? Adam back here, and today I have another video. This time it is my custom Bo-katan Kryze from Star Wars The Clone Wars. So this is her main suit in Star Wars The Clone Wars, as she appears in all of the seasons, I think, and especially in the Season 5 arc on Mandalore. So a little bit about this figure. It consists of a variety of different accessories and different weapons and paint and everything, which I'll get into a little bit later. But basically why I made this figure, which it's sort of out of the blue, it's just kind of random, as you've noticed with my figures lately. It's mainly because I've been feeling inspired to do certain characters. I'm trying to do the figures that I've kind of never gotten around to doing while I work on some other projects, which I can't really post right now. So that's mainly why I made Bo-katan right now. But just like the ARC Trooper, it's just something that's kind of out of the blue, one-off figure. And I wouldn't say it's the same as the ARC Trooper because I've made Bo-katan in the past, but I'll get into that a little bit later. But basically, how I made the figure was, as you can see, the helmet is actually a CAC one. I repainted the entire blue on the helmet, the entirety of the blue, I should say, except for that dark blue portion back there and all the white. Everything else has been repainted. The white lines are new and everything, and yeah, so it's a pretty clean paint job. And the antenna is a CAC one. It's just painted dark gray with the gray stripe. I used reference photos from the 501st data bank. If you don't know what that is, I'll leave a link in the description. But yeah, it's basically Bo-katan started off as black legs, a black torso, black arms, and the CAC helmet, and I transformed her into this. The main you'll notice that there's some 3D elements. So the main sculpted areas are the torso pieces, all three of those pieces. The belt, actually where the pockets are, actually is a piece under it that is sculpted. The shoulder pad is sculpted. The gray line in between the wrists and the shoulder is sheet metal, which I just cut out and glued on. And then the bottom wrist is also sculpted as well. And it's two different layers of Procreate. As you can see, there's the base layer, and then there is the little wrist communicator. And then, yeah, it's pretty much the same on both sides. And then there's the, I think it's the, I don't remember what that symbol is called. Has a certain name. I'm very forgetful though. But yeah, I painted it on both sides of her shoulder pad. And yeah, as you can see, the belt wraps all the way around, even under the jetpack. And yeah, it pretty much is all sculpted and minus the sheet metal. But yeah, I pretty much just sculpted the torso, painted everything else black, went over it with the light blue color, and painted the centerpiece and added the pockets, which the pockets are some modified Batman belts. You'll notice the Batman belts have the pockets, so I just took some Procreate and created a little bit more of a triangular shape on the bottom. And yeah, so the main paint composition I used for this was light gray and brown, both apple barrel colors, and then it was a mix of the blue apple barrel color, light blue, with white, just a hint of white, nothing too drastic. And yeah, and then there's the Admiral blue is what runs down the side. And yeah, so that is that. She also has two CAC Mando pistols. And the jetpack is a regular Lego jetpack. I just painted on the detailing. It consists of a Citadel color. I don't think I remember the name of it. It's like Balthazar or something. I think it's Balthazar Gold. And then light gray with the light blue stripe going down the center. And you can see that's painted on both sides. So yeah, it's definitely one of my best paint jobs. It's a close runner-up, if not the best. So now onto the legs. So the legs, I didn't bother carving out the hips because I'm never gonna pose her, I don't think, that far. But the paint over there, or on the top, is just light gray again, and then it just wraps all the way around. It's pretty symmetrical on both sides, and you'll notice she has holsters. These are mainly meant to be minifig scale, nothing more, and they are pretty much just glued on, and they are from AV Figures. They are modified though. I used a plastic cutter to create the shape I wanted, which, if you'll notice on Mando holsters, or on hers specifically, it curves up on the on the forward most facing part. So I did that, and I glued it on, and I painted the rest of this back here. And you'll notice the gray detailing also goes down here as well, and it comes back, and there's her little knee pads, which are also sculpted, and then underneath it, it's all painted, and along with the boots and everything else. And yeah, so it's pretty cool, I would say. And I'll get the backpack off, or the jetpack off, and I'll show you the back, which is pretty much nothing, but it's still worth a peek. So as you can see, here's the back. I got a zoom shot, and it's pretty much just painted apple barrel black. It's just a matte color, and it just has the reddish brown going around from the previous side continued. So yeah, that is that. And so you may have noticed that she looks a little bit funky without the jetpack on. The helmet portion size is not very good, and you may ask why I didn't just use the Lego ones, considering the size is probably a little bit more accurate to a Lego figure. But the CAC one has one thing that one doesn't, and it really just captures, the CAC one just captures the shape. You see the downward slope of the helmet, and that's something the Lego one didn't have. I contemplated using the Lego one and trying to sculpt on that detailing, but like, it doesn't make sense because there's already this great helmet. So while the CAC one does have some drawbacks, overall it looks really good with this figure. And it's definitely an improvement from my last fig, which the helmet choice was the Lego helmet, but my painting skills, and there was no sculpting, they were all, like, my painting skills, I'm trying to say, were very minimal, and the sculpting was non-existent. I didn't even know what Procreate was at that point, and I did not water down my paints, which I know now to do. But yeah, so there's just a lot of contributing factors to me wanting to make this figure again, considering I don't even have that figure anymore. And the shoulder pads were completely inaccurate, because that was when I was still doing metal, if you've been sticking around with me that long. But yeah, overall I'd say this is a really good figure. However, it's not complete yet, and I contemplated waiting for the head and the hair, but I didn't initially want to include them. But I did order a headpiece, and I did order a hairpiece, and those will both be coming within the next week. So I'll probably post on YouTube an updated version, not a video, but rather a community post. So you can look out for that, or you can check it out on my Instagram. I'll post them both there. And if you haven't already, you should probably go support my Bricklink as well if you want to keep seeing videos. It really motivates me, and I have money to buy parts for these customs. So yeah, I have a lot of cool stuff coming soon, and I hope you guys can stick around for that. In the meantime, this is goodbye, and have a nice day.